We welcome once again Robert Budsock, who is president and CEO of an organization called Integrity House. For those who do not know, Bob, what is Integrity House and why does it matter?
So Integrity House has been operating in Newark, New Jersey since 1968. We also have facilities throughout northern New Jersey. Integrity House, our mission is to provide opportunities for individuals to reclaim their lives. So our primary purpose is to work on individuals who are battling addiction, and we look at providing the addiction treatment and then all of the other services that are critical for an individual to get back on their feet. So what happens is that when someone's impacted by addiction, there's a breakdown in many areas of their lives. So they neglect their physical health, their mental health, even something as basic as dental care. In addition to that, many of the folks that we work with, they either dropped out of high school or maybe they dropped out of college. They do not have a good work history. So what we look to do at Integrity House is, yes, we provide the addiction treatment, but in addition to the addiction treatment, we take a look at all those other areas of their lives. And we ensure that they're getting the medical treatment, mental health treatment, dental treatment, and also the educational, vocational skills that they need to really put their lives back together again.
Robert, you and I were talking right before we got on the air. There are two issues I want to talk about here. Yeah. One is the stigma, the social stigma, and to the degree to which it's still there around addiction. But the other piece is, in the African-American community, there's research from the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, that talks specifically about an increase, a significant increase. Is it just in opioid addiction?
No. Our inner city communities with a high minority population continues to get hit hard by the opiate epidemic and also the many other issues that these communities have been dealing with for many years. Here in the city of Newark, yes, we have an opiate epidemic, and a lot of the folks that are from the city of Newark are impacted by that epidemic. But you also have the epidemic of cocaine, of alcohol, and then also the synthetics. When I say synthetics, you hear a lot about ecstasy.
Right.
But there's also other synthetics that, at one time they were being sold at gas stations and bodegas. They're called like K2 and Spice. It's like a synthetic marijuana that has really, devastating impact on the individuals that use it. Frequently, they end up in our emergency rooms, and it's just not a it's not a pretty picture.
Bob, what is Hope One in Newark, and why does it matter?
Okay. So Hope One Newark was actually it's a concept that came from the mayor, from Ras Baraka. And it's a collaboration. It's modeled after a project out in Morris County. And out in Morris County, they have a Hope One van, and Sheriff Gannon out in Morris County actually is the person that came up with the initial concept. Now it's been adopted by Ras Baraka. So what it is, it's taking services out into the community. So Integrity is part of a collaboration along with the City of Newark, the Department of Health, Essex County, in Morris County Mental Health Association.
Right. Is there corporate support here?
For Hope One, there is not direct corporate support for that project. So what happens is that the police department works to do some hot spotting. So they identify the areas of the community where there has been a lot of maybe overdose calls from the EMTs, maybe a lot of arrests for selling drugs. And what will happen is that they've taken an old, tactical van that's been used by the police department, and together with Integrity House and the police department and the City of Newark Department of Health, we go and we set up shop for a full day at these hot spots, and we talk to the members of the community. We make them aware of what services are available.
But let me do this in the interest of time. Yeah. There's a lot that's being done.
Yeah.
The question I asked you before we got on the air, to what degree are we making real progress on the opioid crisis?
Yeah. So we are making progress. And
how do you define that?
Well, I'll define that as the CDC put out a report stating that overdose deaths decreased by 5% for the year 2018. So when I think about the opioid crisis, is that the reason that it's such a big crisis is because people are dying from the use of the drugs. So we've had addiction issues forever, for hundreds of years. And, as far as Integrity House is concerned, we've been helping people for the past 50 years. And the big game changer over the past 10 years is the overdose deaths.
Right.
So the overdose deaths are, there's a signal that they're starting to slow down.
Where's your corporate money come from? Because we spend a lot of time raising money from corporations and foundations. You are a not-for-profit.
That's correct.
Dollars come from?
That from grants through the state government, federal government, also additional funding through the state government, and then support from foundations such as the Horizon Foundation and other large
Actually, they're the ones
foundations.
who told us about the work that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
1968.
Yeah.
David Carr started?
Dave Kerr started
Dave Kerr
Integrity House
started,
back in 1968.
Wow.
Yeah.
Soon after the rebellion in the city of Newark. Before I let you go, we got a few seconds left here. How hopeful are you that things will continue to move in the right direction as it relates to this opioid crisis?
Yeah. So I'm hopeful as long as we continue to get Narcan in the hands of family members, of treatment staff, of everyone who comes in contact with someone that's using heroin, that the death rates will continue to decrease. However, keep in mind that Narcan is not treatment, and all it does is keep a person alive long enough to seek treatment and be connected to services.
But Narcan's a key for now.
Narcan is the key to slowing the opioid overdose deaths. But once we slow the deaths, what we need to do is we need to wrap our arms around people, and we need to provide intensive, rigorous, long-term treatment to ensure that they sustain their sobriety.
Robert, thank you. Keep doing what you're doing at Integrity House. We appreciate it.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, NJIT, RWJ Barnabas Health, the Northward Center, PSC&G, the Russell Berry Foundation, and by TD Bank. Promotional support provided by NJ.com and by New Jersey Family Magazine and NJFamily.com. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.